So you're planning on retiring soon. Well, there are 3 steps to take and check off your list. We're going to plan with Ash today. Ash of Strong Tower Associates is here to transition us all into retirement. I'm ready. I'm ready. It's a terrible thing to say. Sign me up. Coach wants retirement. So there are 3 steps. We want to start with 1. And the number 1 says evaluate where you are. What does that mean?
So, you have to basically assess what are my assets? How am I doing as far as my assets go? Where are my retirement accounts at, and how much am I contributing? And what's going to happen with Social Security? Do I get a pension? You need to have all of those things on the table first. Gather all of that information, and then we can go from there. But that's our first step: is to gather all of the information necessary.
What's the latest you should do that? Should it be like 20 years out, 10 years out for anybody who's procrastinating on the couch?
Yeah. So ideally, we'd like to have this plan as early as in your 30s, but sometimes it's just not possible. People don't do that, and so within 10 years, I would say the sooner you do, the better, because that gives you time to course correct. If you're veering off and you're only 6 months away from retirement, then that's not much time to fix it. So the sooner we do it, the better.
Okay. So then the second one would be creating a spending plan. What's it going to look like, and what money do I need, for retirement?
So that's the whole reason why we evaluate everything we have first, because we have to see, well, based on our lifestyle, do we have enough to cover? It's not a social status thing, right? It's not about, well, I have $1 million for retirement, I have $5 million for retirement. That's irrelevant. It's about your lifestyle and whether you have enough resources to be able to support that lifestyle. So, I don't know how many cruise trips that you want to go on in a year. I don't know whether you like to go to really fancy resorts or you like camping. So those are the types of things that we need to do. Now, obviously, there are some things that are hard to predict, especially if you're 10 years away from retirement. I don't know what property taxes are going to cost in 10 years from now. I don't know what, healthcare is going to cost 10 years from now. Well, that's our job. That's what we help our clients with. We have the tools to be able to assess inflation and adjust inflation on certain items that might inflate faster than others.
That's good. Kind of takes the scary out of it when they are thinking about that. Now, the other thing is, how are you going to occupy your time? So it's sort of in the same vein of what you were talking about, but this is like if you want to have a hobby or there's certain things that you want to be able to do. You need to know what's that going to look like, right?
Yeah. So the third thing, which is I think often forgotten about, is what are you going to do when you retire? You have to have a plan for that. You can't just stop working and then say, I'll figure it out when I have time to. It's so important. I mean, study after study shows that people are much better off when they have a purpose when they retire. Whether that's emotionally or physically, mentally, spiritually, you're so much better off if you have something to do. I mean, what's really neat is that our offices are filled with hobbies that people have done. We have a client who's given us a painting, that they've made. We have a client who's into photography, and he's taken photographs of these bald eagles. They're gorgeous. We have a client who's made a table for us. We've even had a client who's upholstered some furniture. They work on cars and they upholster the cars because they're car seats. So they they're like, I want to reupholster your furniture for you. So it was really cool. Yeah, it's really amazing. But generally, those are the people that are, in my opinion, the happiest.
Right, because they plan. Yeah. That's the bottom line. Now, there's a retirement readiness kit. That's always really helpful that you have.
Absolutely. So we've put this kit together so that people can start, saying, okay, where do I start, and what are the things that I need to watch out for? And so we have this kit together. It's chock full of information to help you get started on the right path.
Well, once again, provide us with locations so people can get to you or figure out how they can get more information from you.
The best way to get to us is to go to our website, strongtowerpa.com. And we have offices in State College, that's our main office. We have offices in Harrisburg, Lewisburg, and Lock Haven. So we try to be where people are and help as much of the community as we can.
And you do a good job. Thanks, Ash. Thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure.
All right, well, we'll be right back with more Good Day PA.